Hello everybody, we're going to talk about how to write a quadratic function in vertex form by using completing the square. So we're going to start off and jump right into it. If you want to know more about the process of completing the square, you can check out the video in the description below. But for now, let's jump right in. So for number one, we have y equals x squared minus 22x plus 16. So if you remember about completing the square, we need this to just be x squared plus bx, or in this case, x squared minus bx. So let's start off by subtracting 16 from both sides. So now we have y minus 16 is equal to x squared minus 22x. So now at this point we are ready to complete the square. So we take 22 divided by 2, we get 11, square that and we get 121. So now remember we need to add that to both sides. So we get x squared minus 22x plus 121. And now for the left side we also have to add 121, right? So now we have negative 16 plus 121, and we get 105. So now we have y plus 105 is equal to, and now remember we can write this perfect square trinomial as the square of a binomial. So this would be x minus 11 quantity squared. Now we are just one step away, right? Let's subtract this 105, and then we are in vertex form, 105. So now we have y equals x minus 11 quantity squared minus 105. And so this would be our vertex form, with our vertex being at the point 11 comma negative 105. All right, now for number two, it's a little bit different. We have a value of negative and it's also negative 16. So that's something that we're going to have to consider as we work through this problem. But let's start off the same way. Let's subtract 4. So now we have y minus 4 is equal to negative 16x squared plus 80x. And now what we did previously in a previous video on how to complete the square, if a wasn't 1, we divided both sides by the value of a. Well, in this case, we don't want to divide both sides by the value of a. Let's just factor a out. So the left side is going to stay the same, y minus 4. But now let's factor out this negative 16. So we have x squared minus 5x. Now let's complete the square inside the parentheses. So we have y minus 4, and I'm going to leave a little bit of space because I know I need to add something to both sides. And now we have negative 16, and then we have x squared minus 5x. And now here we need to think, okay, negative 5 divided by 2 and square that. So since 5 there is an odd number, it's going to have to result in a fraction, and that fraction is going to be 25 over 4. Now, when I go to add to my left side, I'm not adding 25 over 4, I'm adding 25 over 4 times negative 16, right? So if we want to do that, 25 over 4 times negative 16, and that's going to give us a negative 100. So we're actually subtracting 100 from the left side because we're actually adding 100 to the right side, okay? Or we're actually subtracting 100 from the right side as well. So now we can combine and we have y minus 104 is equal to negative 16, and now we can write this as a square of a binomial. So this is going to be x minus 5 over 2 quantity squared, and now we can add 104 to both sides. Okay, so now we have y equals negative 16 times x minus 5 over 2 squared plus 104. And that would be our vertex form, with our vertex being at 5 over 2 comma 104. Okay, so that's how you could take a quadratic function and write it in vertex form by using completing the square.